Now, they say no news is good news, but before 1956, the Midlands had no news at all, at least not on television. Well, then fledgling broadcaster ATV changed everything and started us on the road to where we are today.
And now that story is being retold by the Media Archive for Central England, based in Lincoln. They've compiled a double DVD called From Headlines to Tightlines, and in the first of 3 reports, Andy Bevan journeys back to the days of black and white.
These days, ITV regional news is on our TVs, our PCs, even on our mobile phones. But now the Media Archive for Central England is using digital technology to relive the days when Midlands viewers came home from work to this. On May the 7th, 1956, ATV Midlands News became the first local TV news service in the country, broadcast for a few minutes each weekday just after 6 p.m. from a converted cinema at Aston in Birmingham. Not only did it revolutionise television news, it had Pat Cox, a woman newscaster, unheard of in the male-dominated world of journalism.
In the Midlands, this will mean a new Roman Catholic secondary school at Derby. There will be a secondary school in Leicester and extensions to the secondary school at Brownhills.
The first ATV news cameramen were drafted from the ranks of wedding photographers. Editors were former cinema newsreel compilers. Equipment was basic, and the film processing laboratories were on the other side of town to the studios. Most news reports were brief and, of course, all in black and white. They were almost always silent, with occasional sound effects added in studio. But if a voiceover was needed to expand a story, it was done live by announcers like Pat Astley.
The machine plunged 100 feet into a valley. 5 soldiers and the crew were treated for cuts and bruises.
Once a week, ATV also produced Midlands Montage, a lighter look at life in the region. Amongst other things, this treated viewers to the vast array of bizarre hats, worn often without any explanation by reporter Jenny Martin.
This is the only completely automatic skittle alley in the whole of England.
In 1964, ATV announced it would replace the weekly Midlands Montage with a new 5 nights a week magazine programme. On October the 5th, the first edition of ATV Today was transmitted. The original broadcast was never kept, but its typewritten running order was. It's included on the DVD and can be downloaded and printed off. One of the main stories from that night has survived, though. Reporter Jennifer Gay interviewing youngsters about the upcoming general election.
Well, there's Conservative, Liberal, Labour and Communist.
Labour, convertible. I don't know anyone.
ATV Today cameras captured all the big stories. American activist Malcolm X in Smethwick. Industrial disputes in the Midlands motor industry.
Are you all determined to fight redundancy?
Yes! As well as visits by celebrities and royalty. And on New Year's Eve 1964, an extraordinary interview by reporter Reg Harcourt with Norman Jones, a friend of missing Burton-on-Trent schoolgirl Diane Meenham.
She got into my van, we had a good night kiss. I don't know how long it went on for, but anyway, she got out of my van and walked over to this other car, and that's the last I saw of her.
Jones was later tried and convicted of her manslaughter.
This was the first, I think, only interview done on ATV Today that was shown to a judge and jury in a murder trial. It was just extraordinary, really, just standing there giving evidence about an interview you'd done. And little did we realise how important it was going to be at the time.
ATV Today was the only television crew present when Wolverhampton MP Enoch Powell made his infamous Rivers of Blood speech, raising racial tension across Britain.
We must be mad, literally mad as a nation, to be permitting the annual inflow of some 50,000 dependents.
And ATV Today settled another equality issue in 1968 by bringing in its first female reporter, Sue Jay. She would stay with the company for more than 20 years.
I think we'd arrived at the point in 1968 where they knew they had to have a woman. Feminism was all the rage, and I think I got in rather on being the token woman, although I hope I earned my keep.
At the same time ATV was breaking down barriers in equality, it was breaking ground on a brand new studio complex here in the heart of Birmingham. Tomorrow we'll see what happened when ATV Today went colour, and meet more of the team who used to visit your living room every evening, and one or two who still do.
It's worth watching just for the hairstyles, isn't it?
It is. It's like tonight, really. Bit short on the back and sides.
Yes, 50 years from now, hey, we'll all look back. No, it is a fascinating view. And we'll have more from the ATV archives tomorrow night. But if you would like to see Andy's piece again, then do log on to the website, itv.com/central. And you'll also find details of how you can get hold of that DVD, which I think is going to be very oversubscribed.
Yes, very popular stuff. Now, still to come on Central tonight.